Welcome to the AboutBeverages.com podcast. This is episode number 24 for Tuesday, February 7th, 2012.
This is unfamiliar territory for us.
It is. It's been a long time since we've done this.
It has been a long time since we've done this.
And with another person.
I know. Well, I don't know if I've ever... Well, no, I guess we have done this with another person.
We did. There was that one time, but we don't talk about it.
We don't talk about it.
Even though we did post that podcast.
That's true.
So
we don't talk about it. We listen to it, but we don't talk about it. Not anymore. We already talked about it.
We did. So no, what we've got here is we have episode 24 of the AboutBeverages.com podcast. Full length.
Ooh, full, bigger, longer, and uncut?
That's right.
Wow.
Exactly. All those things.
We're going South Park on us there.
We are, and we're hitting a topic that is very close to our hearts, our love of gin.
This is our fourth year. We're beginning our fourth year of AboutBeverages.com. Kind of weird to say that, but...
That is really 4, are you sure?
2009, 2010, 2011, 2012. We're
beginning
beginning our fourth year.
Wow, that is very cool.
So, and we haven't done a full-length podcast in a while, and a whole bunch of actually great situations just kind of have come together and collided to make this happen. Because...
Like the Big Bang.
It's a big gin theory for us, though.
Oh, nice. Oh, good. I like that.
We'll call the podcast. So
the big gin theory.
Because we've been talking about having our special guest here for a long time, and he's here. He also happens to be a huge proponent of vodka. No, wait.
No.
He's a huge fan of gin, like we are. Like I said, we've tried a lot of things in our 3 years, and one of them that stands out to us is that we've enjoyed our time with gin.
Yeah, and also got a good response. So then we keep doing those things. When listeners listen, then we actually do more of those.
And you seem to like that, so yeah. So
honestly, let's ask the real question. What's not to love about gin?
That is actually a really good question. As much as I get people saying that, like...
Do we need to introduce Eric first before we get into that?
We should, shouldn't we?
Okay.
Even though he's been on 2 prior podcasts. Eric is back again.
Yes.
He's brought actually a fine selection of 3 gins, and then we've also kind of brought a returning champion, per se.
We just those previous 2 little give it a shots, those were warm-ups to kind of bring Eric into the tasting room to see what we do, to behind the scenes. He's listened to our podcast for a while, and he and I work together, so we share a love of the beverages, but we had to bring him in behind the scenes, get him in front of the microphone, and he's doing all right.
He is doing good.
Glad to be here. I like to enjoy gin with some good friends.
And
this is fun.
And we like it that you brought those gins.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's half the battle right there.
That's right. And I know Eric also, he shares our love of many things. And we share a similar frustration.
Disdain.
Yes. Disdain.
Right.
We don't understand vodka, and Eric's right along with us on that.
I'll just make this point about vodka. If it comes in 97 fruit flavors, it's probably not a good drink.
It wasn't good enough to start with that they had to do that.
Right.
There's a difference between like making different blends and subtle things and adding aromatics that kind of change up the flavor of something. But to completely this has no flavor, what do we add to it?
Exactly.
It's just, and I get it. Why people like it, because they want their alcohol part, but they don't want to taste it. They want to mix it into something else, and I get that. I mean, when you break it down, we've talked about it before, it's basically a poison. You're putting a poison into your body. If I'm going to put poison in my body, I want to taste it and I want it to be delicious.
Exactly.
Why am I putting it in there if it's, those other things are great. The side effects are nice.
The way I think about it is vodka is for 21-year-olds and gin is for sophisticated drinkers.
There we go.
So, I like that.
Gin is a drink to be loved by all.
And I'm glad we've kind of gotten off it. We wanted to touch briefly on the hate a little bit, but now we've come back to what the focus of this podcast is, and it is the gin.
It is the gin, and we've got 3 new gins, and like I said, the one that's coming back once again. So the one that we're bringing back that we have enjoyed previously is the Hendrick's gin, which we love quite a lot.
Yes,
that one is definitely one of our favorites. It's probably the one I've bought most in the last year. Is the Hendrick's.
Well, we may change that today.
We could.
Right.
I'm very excited. See, I'm always willing to try like other things.
That's good.
That's right.
That's good. It's important to explore. And my motto is always taste everything twice because something could go wrong the first time.
I like that. That's good. I do like that. That's really good.
And Eric's had all 4 of these.
Right.
Andrew and I have only had the Hendrick's. So this is a whole new world.
A new fantastic point of view.
I'm not going to sing.
This is a whole new world for us. Just enough pause. I was hoping you'd tie back into Walt Disney and do something there.
Put it on there. That could be how we get to the tasting room. We could take our magic carpet ride. But that's the one we are going to start with, just because, and that'll get us all, get our palates in a gin frame of mind.
Yes.
So
Yes.
So should we get into this now, or do we need to get to the tasting room? Or see, we haven't done this in so long.
I know we're a little out of practice,
right?
And I think we should probably just head on over to the tasting room and talk about it.
Yeah, because that's where we'll get into the facts and all the wherewithal of all these different things. So
sounds good.
All right. Our 3-man portal of carriage awaits.
The journey begins.
The journey begins.
That's right. And off we go.
That went really well right up until the ending, which was a little rough.
I think I'd actually gotten kind of a little entranced by the music and just the wind and the breeze going through my hair, and then I just lost control. So I apologize for that.
But we've made it.
We did make it.
Where's Eric?
I'm here.
okay.
I've arrived.
I didn't see
Sorry,
him
a little
over
behind.
That's right.
So where should we begin? What do we start with? What do you think? What are you feeling? You want to talk about what we've got here?
Why don't we talk about the 4 we have?
Okay.
We'll just not in detail. Let's just list the 4 we have, and we'll talk about them in the order that we're going to have them.
Okay.
Well, I think Eric actually should probably introduce the 3 because they're the ones that he brought over. But yeah, we're going to start with Hendrick's Gin, which is, we just reminded, is from Scotland, actually. We've all had that one of our favorites. Just a great gin that's good to have on hand at all times. So
yes.
we're a good standard. So that'll be the first one we have. Number 2, what do you think we should have second, Eric?
I'm going to say we should probably go 209
Okay.
out of Napa there. It's a really just wonderful gin. A nice bottle. I love the way it looks, and it's got a cool little story.
Oh, that is neat.
About Napa back there, and actually it's the 209th distillery began creating award-winning spirits.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Definitely one of my favorites.
Okay, so that'll be number 2.
And then we have the Spruce gin from Rogue Spirits. You may also know them as a brewer of wonderful beer. This comes out of Oregon, and it's interesting, actually. I got this as a gift from a friend, also named Andrew.
Oh, really?
And, yeah. He goes
Good guy,
by,
then.
He is. He goes by Drew. He knows my love of gin, so he picked that up for me for a holiday gift. And then I'm not entirely sure about the pronunciation of this gin. I'm thinking Nolet dry gin out of Holland.
That'll be the 4th, and that's the one of the more newer additions to your gin repertoire.
Recent.
Okay,
very recent addition.
All right,
but this is brewed by 10 generations of family members there, so they've been crafting it for some time.
Kettle One.
Yeah, but look at this. Is a liquor brand of the Nolet Distillery in the Netherlands.
Oh, interesting.
So they actually make Kettle One vodka as well.
Very interesting. Did not know that.
Pronounced Ketel. So it's actually Ketel.
Ketel one.
Wait, aren't those exercises like if you have a pregnant?
Not
no.
Kegel.
Kegel.
Oh,
yeah.
Kegel.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
Kegel.
Okay.
Kegel 1 exercise.
Everyone encourage your wives to do that now.
While you're listening to the podcast, what should I be doing? Well, if you don't have these gins to try,
That's right. You
should be Kegel.
okay. So Kettle One also makes this gin as well,
That's interesting.
or Ketel.
Ketel
Yeah.
1.
So maybe that is natal.
Maybe.
Nolet.
No, it's Nolet then.
Natal.
Yes.
Natal.
We'll go
Natal.
with Nolet.
We'll go with Nolet.
Nolet's dry gin.
Well, we won't hold that Kettle One against them.
No,
Put
Now,
that
here's
out of
a
my
good
mind.
question, though. As much as we're not fans of vodka, it's kind of like something you do have to have around, usually. Something that, or maybe you don't. I always feel that like I said, I do have a bottle of vodka.
Unfortunately for me, I have a wife that's a vodka lover, not a
Really?
gin lover. Yes. She makes her own raspberry vodka. So
Oh,
That's
very
cool,
interesting.
though. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But see, that I because you're
There's a little
doing
craft
it
involved there.
to
It's not
your
just adding some.
specifications.
Yeah.
Right.
so, yeah,
So
that's
she will take the vodka and she'll pour it into a large pitcher and
Drink it, and then what?
then add tons of raspberries, fresh raspberries, and just let them just do their business in there, and it comes out as a fantastic drinkable raspberry vodka.
Does she leave them whole, or does she kind of like macerate them up a little
she
bit?
doesn't
or no?
really macerate them.
Okay.
Yeah, she just tosses them in there, and they kind of turn this weird light pink color after everything's been extracted.
How long?
She just lets it go.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, then she just leaves it in there even when she starts taking some
once
back.
she starts
okay.
consuming. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
What is the base vodka?
Usually, I believe it's Sky, which is not amazing, but you know,
You just want something really smooth.
Yeah,
Which
and-
kind of is the definition of vodka, I know, but
And for me, we round up a large bottle at Costco on occasion. You know, it's most reasonable there. So
The big 5-gallon jug.
That's
like
right.
5-gallon drum.
it's a you have to roll it out. 55 gallons of vodka.
We need some customer service here. We got the 55-gallon vodka.
We always get that big flat cart.
Sir, are you getting some vodka? Yes, I am.
Yes. How did you know?
I'm here for the vodka.
And 2 pounds of bacon.
Now,
Ooh, bacon.
maybe that could get you
Yeah.
to start drinking vodka.
Actually,
Did you ever try that? They made that vodka with the bacon, B-A-K-O-N, that bacon-flavored vodka.
I actually just heard about someone, though, at work was telling me their friend took some cooked bacon and added it to the vodka and let it sit, and it kind of extracted all that flavor, and they had bacon vodka.
And?
So it apparently was pretty good for Bloody Marys. Yeah.
Once again, I kind of like buying my alcohol that it's done.
Yes, exactly. And fortunately for us, gin has enough flavor on its own that you don't have to doctor it up.
Yeah,
There
there's
you
no
go.
need to. It's
No.
doctored the proper way already.
That's right.
And it comes back to the positive talking that we are doing about gin here today.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Which is good.
Which is good, and would be even better if we actually started drinking.
Let's start doing
Yes.
that.
Should we start doing that?
Let's-
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour the Hendricks. Maybe you guys should start talking about the color, because that's probably going to be a big thing to talk about for a while. So why don't you start discussing color while I pour a little bit of this?
The color of gin,
Is very clear.
it is extremely clear. Oh, it's red. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
That is a strange color.
Interesting.
I'm
That's
going to
a
have to
different color
check
for
the
gin.
temperature in my pantry. That's not the color for gin. We can we'll just say this once, just like we kind of did. And this is I'm assuming it's going to apply for the Nolets. They're all clear.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
They look like
that's the only bottle that actually the Nolet's bottle is like a dark green, kind of
Right.
like not see through, so
Around
I can't
the
see
Hendricks,
that.
too.
Oh, that's right. The Hendricks is black.
Yeah.
So, but we knew that one was clear.
Yes.
So
If you go back into the archives at AboutBeverages.com, we did a lot of research on gin the last time, talking about the origins and the history and the different types of gins. So that's available. You can certainly go back into our previous podcast and listen to that.
the Hendricks, like we've talked about before, usually around $28 to $30
Right.
for the 750 milliliter.
Yep.
Pretty much can be found anywhere. It's not hidden.
Yeah,
It's become fairly popular. Nice, pretty standout black bottle.
Yes.
Can't miss that.
Kind of
But
squatty.
Squat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
44% alcohol.
just smells so good.
It is. I almost get just a hint of that cucumber in there.
I think it's just because I'm thinking of martini. I'm like olive.
Oh,
Yeah, we kind of had that a lot when we were trying. You were always kind of like, because you're more of a fan of when you're having your gin, you're the dirty martini
I
guy.
do like the dirty martini.
Yeah. Well, that's
Are you more of a straight or
I
like
could
just kind of regular martini?
I could go either way. I think I prefer regular
really dry.
dry martini, not too dirty.
No.
You know, I prefer my women dirty.
Wow. Oh.
His women dirty and his
His
martini's
martini's
clean.
clean.
That's right.
Garnish? Are you just kind of classic olive pimento kind of garnish guy? Or?
I'm not going to change it up too much. Maybe if you give me a bacon stuffed olive, then we'd start talking. But
Wow, that sounds interesting.
Bacon stuffed olive.
Yeah.
All right.
One of my favorite right now is the garlic stuffed olive.
those are so good.
So good, right?
I cannot stop eating those.
I know. I actually just. Sometimes I'm like, I want to have some olives. Well, I should probably make a martini with it then.
Yes.
Because I can't just eat these.
No.
It's just weird.
But I do sometimes.
They're so good.
They are. If you haven't had
It's
a
healthy,
garlic
though.
stuffed olive, you should.
Got
Yeah.
the olive oil and you got the clove of garlic is great for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's all.
that's so tasty.
And then you mix it with some gin, and life's good.
That's right. That's what I remember from Hendrick's. Just those, that
It's just
blend
good.
of little
Yeah,
herbs
it
in
is.
there, or a blend of, the cucumber in there, and
Yeah, even just drinking this straight, the nice juniper flavor comes through.
Yeah.
Super smooth.
Yeah.
Not harsh in any way.
Mm-mm.
Great, just balance of botanicals that are in there.
And it just is very, very cleansing on the palate. It's got a great, clean flavor. I really enjoy this.
There's almost a little like viscosity or something to it. Not quite oiliness that's going too far, but you know what I mean? There's like
Right.
almost like there's a layer of something that's left in your mouth. It's not too dry. Like, it's not like it leaves your mouth really dry or anything like that. It's just,
Maybe a hint of essential oils or something
Yeah.
left behind from the botanicals.
yeah, little salty, kind of getting that kind of going under my tongue and stuff like that. But no, that's why I love that one.
That
Yeah, even not in a martini, just completely straight and just, room
Yeah.
temperature. That's delicious.
very tasty.
So from Scotland, where we had our first gin, we're heading to the United States, actually. We're going to Napa.
Yes.
Oh, very cool.
For gin number 2, which is the 209. 209, because O is not a number.
No, that's true.
209er.
Yes. Very exciting gin. Love this one.
Well, it's funny. After we did the original gin podcast, I talked with Daniel, and he said, when he used to bartend, he's like, "Did you try the 209?" And I said, "No, 209. The 209. Did you try the 209?"
That's right.
And I said, "No." And he said he used to have a lot of people come in and call for that one, make
Yes.
requests for that in their drinks. So I'm glad we are getting to try that.
And they have
Today.
a pretty fancy website also.
They do. I've got that up here, just kind of taking a look at that. Now, truth be told, we always do full disclosure on these podcasts. I have had this before.
Oh, very
Now, I have not had it straight like we're having it now. I had it in a martini, so I'm not quite sure.
And you said at Thunderbirds?
No, at Firebirds.
Firebird. At Firebird. I had a martini up there for my birthday last year.
At Firebirds?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I ordered that too. But once again, mixed.
It was one of those things where they had some sort of martini with the 209 gin, like on the menu, like some sort of cocktail that they'd created.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I want to get a martini with that 209 gin. Oh, that one? No. Please don't make me that.
No.
I was like, very dry martini, 209 gin, and like that's all I want. So, like I said, it was the one tiny little olive, which
Right.
is always kind of sad.
Yes.
I mean, really, like when so here's speaking to the sadness of that. So when I actually garnish my martinis, usually 2 to 3 olives, and it's those nice big queen olives.
Yes. It should not be a sad affair with a tiny little olive. This should be a real olive to garnish your
Some
beverage.
robustness.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that played into it because, like I said, when we actually taste this, I'll tell you what I tasted in the martini.
Okay.
We'll see if it matches up because I don't want to talk about that.
So it's from Napa, and alcohol percentage is 46, and approximate price?
I'm thinking about $35.
Okay. So right in line with our previous gin.
Most gins are pretty accessible, very affordable, and they're good quality.
That's what I always think. See, you keep trying to not have the bashing on here, but I can't help myself. That's what I always think is funny. Anyone that spends more than about, whatever, $15 or $16 on a vodka.
Right.
Like, I mean, you've got vodkas that are 30, 40, 50. It's like,
Yeah.
you're just distilling it. I mean,
Right.
it's like what's our favorite vodka?
Tito's.
If you're going to buy a vodka, you make it Tito's.
There you go.
It's like $17.99. It's
Yeah.
distilled like 6 times. I think it's corn or whatever, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Wasn't that the big thing? Because it was
Yeah.
gluten free.
Yeah.
That was one of their big things too. It's just
Do you still
simple.
have the crystal head?
I do. I have the crystal head vodka. Well,
Okay.
you always wanted to call it Castle Grayskull.
Yeah. That's a gray skull, yeah.
That's a dying breed. Not many people remember Castle Grayskull.
I've got it out in the garage if you want to play
Yes.
later. I've got it.
Hey, only if Beastman can show up. Wait a
He
second.
might be able to. Wait a minute. I
After
thought we
a
were
little more
talking
gin.
about
You might want to do that.
We
The Beast
should.
Man might make his appearance. Oh, whoa. Yeah.
yeah. Wow, definitely different aromas out of this
Absolutely,
one. Wow,
yeah.
it's much more pine, kind of
Yeah.
pine like spruce.
Wow.
Very piney.
Smells really good though. Wow.
It's really got a great nose. A little more going on than the Hendricks, which is a little more subtle.
That's like almost like Christmas time.
It is.
It is. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's so interesting. I'm so glad we started out with the Hendricks. I'm glad you brought a little bit of your supply over so that we could try that because that blows my mind the difference there.
Yes.
It's so much
got
more.
A lot going on. Just great nose.
There's there's almost like some other fruity berry component in there too, like along with the juniper, like I want to say blueberry. That's too much though. There's some sort of
No, I
Do you know it all?
yeah, because when you initially like bite into a blueberry, to me, because I'm not a huge blueberry fan, but when you bite into a blueberry, you get the skin first,
Yeah.
Right.
and you get it's
It's like that mealy
not
part
fruit.
of it.
It's that skin that you're tasting. So yeah, I could. So it reminds me of that a berry in that way.
Yeah, that just smells awesome though.
Well, taste the awesomeness and see what you think.
Let's do it.
Taste the awesomeness.
Is that on the bottle?
No, it should be, though.
It will be now.
Yes.
Ooh, there's a little fruit note that comes through. What is? I mean, like a high note of.
I thought there was a little orange.
Yeah.
Kind of like, orange lemon kind of thing, like maybe even a blend of the two.
Right.
And that was what I got when I had the martini, which I thought was really unique, but I just wasn't sure if they had done something to it. Wow, that is really, and that's equally smooth though. Mm-hmm. That's not, I mean, that's, I think this one's distilled 5 times. Yeah. 5 times distilled.
It still has flavor.
Weird.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Boy, that's quite tasty.
And I will tell you, this makes a terrific gin and tonic. If you are enjoying the gin and tonic, 209 is a nice
This would be
addition
great.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Squeeze a lime and a nice tonic water, and it's simple and refreshing.
Well, you've already got that great citrus note in there that we were just
Right.
talking about,
Yeah.
and then adding, that's a really good call.
Right.
Yeah, I'd be happy to sip that by itself, but in a couple months, it's gin and tonic season for me.
Right.
And that would be a great gin for gin and tonic.
Yeah.
They don't really go into too much depth on the website about actually the botanicals in there.
No.
So I wonder if it's a little bit more of a some of them are, Rogue's website is really good, which we'll get to that gin in a minute. They literally list the 14 things they put in it.
Wow.
And usually you kind of see a little bit of that. They're keeping it a little bit more closer to the vest. They just say a blend of botanicals and, grinding up those sort of things. And obviously there's juniper in it, but.
Right.
Kosher for Passover. That's good to
Oh,
know.
that is good to know.
Oh.
The only Passover certified gin in the entire world.
We're not your grandfather's gin.
No.
Well, that was a great experience for gin number 2. So we're on to gin number 3, which is...
Rogue Spruce Gin.
That was very sexy.
It was. I know. That's actually another cool bottle.
Gin.
Yes.
I think gin has the cool bottles in spades.
Yes,
Delicious.
I think hands down. And they don't include pictures of fruit on them, which makes it even better.
Well, if you look at the Hendricks, doesn't the Hendricks somewhere like on the side or... I guess it's in the picture has
They have like the juniper bush on
the
there.
juniper bush. Okay.
Yeah.
which is an ode to gin itself.
That's true.
And that's okay. But when you got a lemon or raspberry on there,
Or a grape or a bubblegum.
yeah, then you're going down the wrong aisle.
So Rogue, they actually do several different spirits, not just gin. They do actually a few different things.
What else do they do?
They do a rum. They do a whiskey. They do a spice rum. They do a single malt whiskey. They do a couple different types of gin, actually. This is the Spruce gin. They also make a pink gin,
Interesting.
which I'm not sure...
It's the voodoo maple bacon.
which
could
might
be.
be fascinating.
Voodoo donut.
Ocean aged in Oregon Pinot Noir barrels.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Fascinating.
Okay, resulting in a
Ocean-aged.
slightly fruity, mellow, and definitely pink gin that could only come from Oregon. But it looks like a very similar base here. Spruce, cucumber, angelica root, and if you go back to the Spruce gin...
Similar.
Spruce, cucumber, angelica, like similar,
Yeah.
pretty much similar
Just the way
ingredients
it's
to the
stored.
Spruce, but the way they store it, they actually age it in Pinot Noir barrels. That's kind of interesting.
Probably impart a pretty interesting flavor into that gin.
I would think so. Well, the color was definitely different.
Yeah,
That would be
yeah.
weird, that pink kind of color.
What I kind of like, though, about having a gin from Rogue is it definitely ties into our first gin podcast because we did a gin done by another distiller who is most known for their beer, and that was Anchor. We did
Right.
the Anchor, I think was it the Potrero? Or no, it was the Junipero.
Junipero.
Because Potrero, I think, is their whiskey. And that was really peppery. That was like hot, spicy. Do you
It
remember
was,
that
and
one?
it was super juniper.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
wow.
like, yeah.
But it was a lot of
Yeah, it was like a
pepper
juniper
going in
berry
that
had
one.
like opened up its shirt and had a big S on it. It was super juniper. It was crazy. It was real. That was really strong. But you said, to go back on that a little bit, you did say that one actually kind of mellowed out a little bit.
A little bit, but it was still.
But it's still pretty.
had that peppery fire to it, but it was good. So, anyways, all right. So we're at the Rogue.
Should we talk about color? Oh wait.
This is similar to me to the 209, but down.
Toned
Yeah,
down a
but
notch.
toned down a
Yes.
But it has
I-
those piney notes and the spruce notes that.
And obviously that's one of their first ingredients. So
It definitely doesn't jump out at you like the 209. It just it's kind of hanging around in there, but it's not really showing its force in juniper goodness.
I don't know if that is because the 209 had other stuff that was kind of like lifting that up.
Right.
Almost, I mean, if you could physically picture like almost that it being lifted toward your nose as you smelled those aromas, whereas these, they're a little more subdued.
this is more the juniper, like I said, the spruce, the piney. For some reason, I'm noticing the heat, like the alcohol, a little bit more
Yeah.
in the nose. Not a lot, but for some reason, and maybe it's because there is one or two less flavors or aromatics going on in there that seems to be coming through a little bit more. I don't know it.
It definitely is warm.
Yeah.
Warm sensation.
Is there cucumber in this one?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Ginger root.
Ooh.
Cucumber's the second thing, second ingredient.
Oh, that's a spicy one.
It is.
It's a little more spicy.
Yeah.
That's warm on the front of my
it
tongue.
is.
But
And
I
actually,
really,
actually, the cucumber does kind of come through.
No, that's
like I'm
what
almost. Yeah,
I definitely got that.
that's
When I
almost
took
like
that
biting
first sip,
into a fresh cucumber.
Yeah.
that really comes through.
Absolutely. When I took that first sip, it was like, ooh, and not quite pickle, but almost even like a brined cucumber.
It is a little salty, kind of.
It was, but yeah, I really got that note. I was like, ooh, it just lingered there. I liked it. That was neat. And then after I swallowed, then the heat. My God, the heat.
Yes.
Well, what was that? One of our favorite, the sea spray. It's almost like that, like ocean spray, like a little bit of salty, like salt water kind of thing, like that.
It kind of dissipates quickly off your palate, though. It's very, very clean finish. I think this represents that spruce flavor very nicely. Good hint of cucumber in there.
Yeah, that
warm.
really hangs around.
Yeah, yeah.
I notice more of the warmth and a slight dryness on like on my soft palate a little bit.
Yeah.
Is kind of where I get the most of that.
I think this is wonderful for making a nice martini, especially that the dryness of this would complement, a nice dry martini.
Yeah, it'd probably be a little too much for the gin and tonic.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that. I mean, not that it would be bad, but it just would.
Yeah,
if you're
love
looking
the
for
209
ultimate-
for the gin and tonic. Like I
Right.
said, that citrus note is really what you want in that drink, and I totally agree.
Yeah, I've actually tasted this one in a gin and tonic, and it was not my favorite choice for that.
But you probably finished it, though.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
You let
Yeah.
no drop of gin should ever go to waste.
No, but see, I think this would probably make a better martini, though, than the 209.
Agreed. It definitely has those characteristics that would pair nicely with the martini format.
So what we're starting to realize is that you need to have more than one gin on hand. Is that what we're saying?
I agree.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
And this is exhibited by Eric by the fact he brought 3 over to us.
Yeah, exactly.
I do carry the Hendricks at my house also. So I have 4 different gins available.
Like he said, I carry 4 gins in my hand.
At all times in my coat.
Some people have like a work tool belt. You actually have a gin belt.
That's right. With easy dispensing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on to gin number 4, and we will be trying Nolet's, which is going to take us back across the ocean to Holland, which is actually the birthplace of gin.
Oh, very nice. And okay, so what's the alcohol content on this one?
This is the highest of the 4 that we've tried. It's 47.6%.
Oh, and before we go any further, I think we actually forgot to mention what the price was for the Spruce, which I just double-checked. It's right around $30, kind of like we'd thought, but the Nolet's is actually a little more expensive. It's right around $46.
Oh my!
So this is the most pricey of all the gins, and we're doing it last. We didn't know this beforehand. It just happened.
That just sometimes it works out that way. It's interesting.
Just from my perspective, I kind of get like a licoricey note off the top, or even kind of like a floral aspect to it.
Definitely there's something garden, and I don't know if it's well, I mean like a flower garden, or there's something botanical in there. I can't put my finger on what that is.
There almost is a light savory something in there. Like I said, you've said licorice, so maybe that's in my head.
I get
like
the
some
licorice
sort of,
too. It's almost like
because there's
a Good and
there's like
Plenty
a
almost.
sweet something in there too.
Well, I say okay, like a Good and Plenty with that hard, like sugary coating,
Right.
Plus the licorice. There's almost like something like that. Plus,
Yeah, with those just kind of nice general mix of botanicals of
Yeah.
just a light sugary kind of note. Like nothing, it's not like it's a burnt sugar or toasted or anything like that. Just a very nice, maybe cotton candy-ish, where it's almost kind of getting toward vanilla-y, something like that. That's for some reason that's what's drawing to mind. And again, a little like forward with the alcohol, kind of the heat on the nose.
It definitely awakens your nostrils.
Yeah.
I'm almost getting a minty refreshment from that.
It is very flowery and minty up front, but I get a lot of black licorice at the back for whatever the reason.
Actually, maybe that's kind of what I was when I was talking about that vanilla sweet kind of thing, like more almost like spearminty.
Yeah.
Like spearmint kind of coming through.
This does have a sweeter profile than previous gins we've talked about.
Yeah, it's more along that as opposed to like I really don't even get like any like juniper or anything like that in there.
Right. It's for me, this is very herbal than junipery, really. It almost leaves at the tip of my tongue like kind of a nice, refreshing tingle.
It's like I just brushed my teeth with gin.
Yeah.
No, there is a...
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Hey, honey, did we run out of the gin-flavored toothpaste?
Why get gin-flavored toothpaste? You just use
you
gin.
may be onto something.
Gin-flavored toothpaste.
That's right.
It's a little high aroma of something going up that's herbal, though. There's something, just a quick flash of
it's really hard to pinpoint what it is in this. It's a unique flavor, definitely has a lot to offer, but I cannot pinpoint just one of the subtle flavors that stands out in my mind. I just can't put my finger on it.
I think you're definitely onto something with the licorice. Like I said, I think it's licorice, spearmint, and there's like olive juice. There's like that salty kind of briny kind of thing going on there too. And then there's just not a lot of other botanicals really going on in there. I think it really is just those flavors are pretty dominant.
But it does leave some spicy heat.
Yeah. I'm not sure where I stand on this yet. I like it. It's got an interesting flavor format, so
it seems kind of minimalist to me compared to the other ones that we've had. Like there was a lot of other stuff going on the others where this is, I think, for me at least, it's like 3 things. And that's neither good nor bad. I'm like just saying, like I said, do you think it's really that complex?
Well, maybe complex isn't the right word. I guess unique is the word. But I do get mint, vanilla, the licorice, and there is so to me there's 4 things. There's a flash of something that goes up. Mm-hmm. That's a high note. That's almost like rose water or or something. I don't know. There's something just that goes up that's, and it's not there for long, but it's, and you know, like rose hips are.
Could it be Turkish rose, white peach, and raspberry?
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that what they say?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily get the peach.
Floral and fruit-forward gin that expresses the essence of 3 coveted ingredients: Turkish rose, white peach, and raspberry.
I do not detect a single hint of raspberry at all.
No.
I don't get the raspberry.
You were the one that picked up a little bit on the road. Like maybe that
something that just, like I said, up.
Well, kind of that botanical,
hit.
like we work with.
Yeah.
Well,
the rose hips.
The rose hips, like at Arbuckle Coffee. Like, so we've used those before.
Reach your hand into those rose hips, and
there's an aroma there.
Citrusy,
Yeah.
and there's there's an aroma there to that.
Yeah.
Like to me, it's like I said, I smelled it and took a sip, and I was like, mint.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely get that.
Yeah, that's spearmint.
That's the dominant thing.
Because it's not peppermint. It's that spearmint because it's vanilla-y, kind of creamy something.
Right.
Yeah, almost creamy.
It is very sort of cream-like. It's weird, but it's good.
If you take a quick hit of that before the alcohol part comes in, it is. It's like a vanilla cream.
Yeah,
type
completely.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of some of the whiskeys we've had where you get that vanilla Coke kind of thing.
Which I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that in there, that vanilla-y kind of note.
Yeah, and I guess complex isn't the right. There's like 4 things I taste in there.
Yeah.
No, wait,
But-
5.
Well, okay.
All right.
You know
all
what?
right.
This is
all right,
really
10.
complex.
All right, 10.
So that's a good little tour of gins.
Did you have a favorite in particular? Did one stand out? Do you still like the go-to?
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to anybody.
Oh, well, I definitely had a favorite. I have a new favorite. Well, not favorite.
That was-
I definitely have one that's right up there. I will have the Hendrick's gin on hand, but the 209, I think I'm going to have to invest in a bottle of that.
Yes.
That I really enjoyed. That I like. The Rogue was good, a little more muted, a little more spicy. Didn't have a problem with that, but that would not be one I would need to seek out. The Nolet's, I'm glad I got to try it, and I think, like I said, that would be, it's just a neat compliment. So, no, I really enjoyed the 209er.
The 209er.
From Napa.
I have to agree. 209, probably my top pick, especially since I'm a huge gin and tonic fan come summertime. Rogue, they make great beers, and they make some nice spirits. Not at the top of my list. And Nolet's provides a unique gin experience. I think it's definitely...
That's a good way to say that.
Definitely different. And there's some interesting flavors going on, but 209 wins the day for me.
And Andrew?
I hate to sound completely unanimous, but I would have to agree. I'm still going to keep, I think the Hendrick's and the 209 would be my 2 go-to gins. I think 209 is different enough where that's kind of that neat balance of, do you want something that's a little bit more mild, like the Hendrick's, that's not quite for non-gin drinkers, but I think it's mild enough where if someone even wanted an intro to gin, I think it's mild enough and smooth enough that you can offer it to them. And the 209 just offers a little bit more amped up experience, like I said, with the citrus that's in there. I like, especially the gin and tonic. Like I said, I think it'd be good in the martini. I may still like the Hendrick's better in that, just because of that milder, kind of more rounded flavor. But I think the 209 in a gin and tonic would just be amazing.
Oh yeah.
And I actually really like the Rogue as well. Like I said, that one is good, but my next, like I said, the next purchase I'll probably make would be the 209. But I like the Rogue. I think very similar, a little more muted than the 209. I'm really glad to have tried the Nolet's. Definitely a different experience. If someone does not like a traditional gin at all, that'd be an interesting one to go to. It's a little more alcohol heat, but it's still fairly smooth and provides a different experience.
Absolutely.
So it's good, but I don't think that would be one that I would wind up purchasing. But yeah, no, this has just been awesome.
Get out and try some gin.
Yeah, it definitely offers its own flavor experience. And that's what this is all about, is if you're not normally a gin drinker, you should be.
Yes, absolutely.
You should be, because it's definitely I think it's an underused spirit. I think it's kind of a neglected spirit to some extent.
Well, I think it kind of lost its magic back in the 20s or 30s probably, and got passed over by some of the other bigger beverages out there. So,
Well, especially if it's referred to as your grandfather's gin, or if people are giving you a hard time because it's an older person's beverage, then yeah, it definitely has. But
Well, and I think some of those like things that we've talked about, yeah, probably a very classic style of gin. Yeah, it is. You know, that probably is kind of, it's grandma's closet. It's that juniper smell. It's like some sort of perfumey, like really.
Right.
But I think the ones we've tried in the past, the 4 that we tried today, I think it shows that it doesn't have to be that anymore for sure.
not at all.
well, we definitely want to thank Eric for being here primarily, and secondarily, actually a very close second, for supplying us with 3 of the gins that we tried today. So, especially since they were brand new, essentially brand new to both of us. So, thank you for being here.
And thank you for
taking your
having
time.
me.
Oh,
It's been a blast.
Well, hopefully everyone enjoyed the long format podcast that we haven't done in quite a while, and everyone's checking out the websites for all the Give It a Shots. And gosh, what else we got going on? We'll have more videos coming up soon.
We'll have more full-length podcasts.
Yeah, and hopefully some live video as well, and hopefully everyone's enjoying the mobile app. We sure are. We're enjoying that, working through some of the kinks, but working pretty well so far.
Check out our Facebook page, right?
Yep.
Even though neither one of you actually like the Facebook.
I do not Facebook.
Wow, man, we have a lot of things to agree on, I tell you.
I told you
This is
that.
the best guest we've ever brought in here. Obviously, the best one is to follow us on Twitter. Because we're always tweeting throughout the week different things that we see or trying. Like I actually did, that was a while back, but I actually did a tasting on Twitter. That was kind of fun. Got some good response to that. Going
Very
through.
cool.
Yeah, I was like, all right, I'm trying this beer now. Okay, it looks like this.
And it's delicious.
Yeah, and this is pretty good. Well, this is interesting. And yeah, so that was actually kind of fun. That was something we'll be doing again as well.
Very cool.
All right. See you guys soon.
Yeah, we'll see you next time on a Give It a Shot or on a podcast.